Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome to the Grindcast. Simon Arias here. Get ready, it's a new day.
So, what things now in your 9 years in the game, you know, in this business and just in leadership in general, what three things, we don't have to box you into three, but what things do you think for someone that's listening, coming up, they want to get better in leadership, right? You know, what things could they work on? What things do you think would help someone grow in leadership?
That's a good question. Number one, I would say be a great gift identifier.
Yeah.
He wants to attack me. I can attack and feel him coming in. He's already giving me the grin. He's like,
"Oh, brother, go ahead. I like it. Go ahead.
You got to be a great gift identifier." Mm-hmm. A lot of people, when they start, they don't got a lot of confidence. So it's up to us to find, hey, what are you really good at? You got great tonality. Wow, you're great with verbiage. Wow, you're great with whatever it is. And you got to pull that out of people, because the fact of the matter is they don't know they're great, but they thought they were great at it at one point, and it's up to us to pull it out. And the reason why it's up to us is because maybe 2 or 3 people ever told them it in their life. And when we tell them it, they're like, no doubt. I knew I had this, you know, these relationship building skills. I knew I had this assertiveness. And then you're like, and then they start to really, really, really highlight that, and they play off their strength. And now we get to see all the other gifts that start to trickle in on these great people.
Right.
That's one thing in leadership. Second one is you got to challenge people. This is an amazing gift of yours. You live in this, challenging people.
Oh,
yeah, you do. And you can say that that's easy to do, or challenge. Challenging people is a different game. Challenging people is an even higher game when you're challenging your brothers and your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy.
No.
I tell you, you're walking in the furnace to bring the best out of your brothers that you know are going to challenge you back.
Yeah.
Like, relax. You know what I'm saying? And you're excellent at this. This is why we are doing what we're doing. This is why we're striving for the numbers that we talked about at council. This is the stuff. It's because it's constantly challenging people, but you have to do it. We're not in leadership to win, you know, most popular. If everybody likes you, nobody loves you. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. They will eventually love you if the challenge gets them to the results, which we already know is going to happen, but nobody will push them because they're afraid to in this weak, watered down society of, you know, I don't have to do. No, you don't have to do anything, but you won't be successful if you don't challenge people.
Come on.
Right? And then the last one is, and this is big for leaders, is you got to find ways to deliver good news. You have to always find ways. Okay, you identify a gift. Okay, we're going to challenge now, but you always have to find ways to deliver good news, because there's a lot of uncertainty when leaders are coming up. There's uncertainty if we don't hit a quota. It can't always be like, oh, we missed. Well, what's the great things that are going to happen when we make this happen?
Right.
What are the great things that are going to happen in June? What are we talking about?
Find the silver lining.
Right.
Always. Because people love good news. You know, no pun intended.
The good news,
good news.
On the
right.
good news.
Right. I'm segueing right into that shameless plug. But that's the fact. The more you do that, and I think you'll be amazed at the things you'll get out of people, because they stick around for good news. They stick around because they know they're going to elevate, and they stick around because you keep magnifying their gifts.
Well, I got a challenge for you that I'll be amazed at if you get it. We're going to throw this right in the middle.
Oh.
Now he's a preparer, Giovanni. So he may have already pulled this out. Okay, but I want to hit him with. If he gets this, we got to get him a pair of shoes or something. You know, something. Get him $100 or something. We got to do something because nobody gets it.
No one gets
What
it.
is now? You already know Perm's real name, so I can't give you that. But what is Perm's middle name? We're going to give you 3 guesses.
Three guesses.
I think I took 5 at Marco.
And you were 0 for 5.
I was 0 for 5.
So this will be 8 guesses.
But I'm still sold on Juan Carlo, and I don't know why, and I know that's wrong.
All right.
But I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sounds good.
All right. Perm, Juan Carlo. Calderon. Okay, so here we go.
That's a no-go.
So what's that's no.
That's a no-go.
Now I made contact. If you see my face,
he's looking.
I thought I made contact.
He's trying to see. All right, 2 more guesses.
Come on, Papi.
I guess so many. Miguel?
Oh,
No
that was
Miguel.
close.
No Miguel, Papi. No Miguel.
Close, though. He
Hello.
excited. He got excited.
Yeah.
Slipped a little
See.
Well, we got a
water.
friend.
Yeah. Name Miguel. What's up, buddy?
He ain't listening.
Man.
Yeah, he is.
I'm going to go with a Manuel.
Manuel.
Oh, we got a guy. Hey, that was our dog.
Yeah, man.
I'm going through the roster.
What's up, Papi?
Through the roster,
all our
but I'm not
boys.
hitting the middle name.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
No.
You're around
No.
that, so you know it's all right.
We're going to tell you off air because we got to keep this going.
We're going to keep this going.
And,
Nobody can guess it.
Nobody's going
Nobody
to guess it.
We've already
Nobody
no.
got it.
No one's got it yet.
I blew it one day and gave away his first name.
And I
I
was
gave a
trying-
tip and
yeah.
somebody got it.
And we could have kept
Big
it.
Lawn got
Yeah.
it. Big Lawn.
Yeah, because of the tip.
And Big Lawn, my dude,
yeah.
Big Lawn.
Yeah.
And I was giving in hints, and he got the hint. Okay,
Like, no.
All right, just to make sure we were all on our toes. Want to get that out of the way.
There we go. So he lost it. So we did the 3, and then he lost it. Now we'll keep it going to Slick Rick over here. Let's
Yeah,
go.
what was the-
Somebody's
you-
going to do their
I
homework.
think
Yeah.
you wanted to ask him something about goats or bombs or something like that. There was something about.
Goats.
Bombs and goats.
Bombs and
Is that-
goats.
is that the thing that?
Yeah,
is that
I
the
have
thing?
no idea what he was talking about. Perm said he says bombs and goats sometimes. I
Oh
said,
no. Yeah, that
I
makes
said, I
sense.
have no idea what you're talking about. I'm out of this.
Hey, this is a funny. So we wanted to come up with a name for our sales force, right? And we're like, what are we going to call them?
Right.
Come up with like, I don't even know the ideas that we came up with. We're like, so it's lingering, right? And we're always like, wow, they're dropping bombs, sales bombs, right?
Okay.
And where the goats comes in, it's aspiring to be the greatest of all
the
time.
goats. I got
Dropping sales bombs, aspiring to be the greatest of all time.
Love
now, you
it.
can't say you're the greatest of all time because it's automatically null and void. It never will happen. You don't hear Brady say, I'm the GOAT.
Right.
People will be like, well, is he? If MJ came out and said, I'm the GOAT, we'd be like, yeah, we'll challenge him.
Yeah.
Right? You can't say it. So even if you are, so it's aspiring to be, but nobody really ever has said. But I'll tell you a funny story when we were in Cancun. Maddie and I get mixed up.
The Twin Towers?
Yeah, big time. At least
Twin
3 times a
Towers.
day. Hey, I saw your dad. I'm like, no, it's his dad. You know what I mean? Hey, I saw your dad. He's a great guy. I'm like, thank you. By the 4th day, like, thank you. He is a good man. I'm just playing. Like, I'm not
Just,
even
I give
playing.
up.
You're
He
not
is a good man.
But there was a guy downstairs screaming in Maddie's ear, bombs and goats. I'm like, oh, man. Now, I could have bailed him out. Nah,
You let it go.
I'm going.
That's your boy.
And
So Maddie had no idea what he was talking about.
Maddie mentioned
Oh, he
this.
knew.
That's him. That's it. I thank you very much. That's him. That's not. You know how Maddie's cool, calm, collective, and just thank you. That's him.
That's him.
Yeah.
I know Perm
That's
was
what
wondering
means.
that.
So it's the sales force.
Yeah.
It's the sales
force.
Let me explain. Yeah, that's what we call our sales force.
How'd you get so good in speaking, man? I remember when we were in Cancun, Mexico, the very first time that we met. You were in the water. You had your Dita glasses on.
Dita.
Dita.
Yeah. I like those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you were afraid to speak, I think, because Simon wanted you to say something on camera. You was like, I don't know, man. I just can't do it.
He used to get nervous.
Like real nervous.
You're right. Super nervous.
Super
he would dodge me.
Yeah.
He would
No, I
try
see.
to
Yeah,
lose the competition.
I don't wanna do it. I don't
to
wanna
be
do it.
second
Right.
sometimes because he didn't
Right.
want to speak. He would
Right.
get people can't believe that. I think that's encouraging for people to hear
Right.
Yeah.
because you are good at it. You got really good at it.
You got really good at it.
And people think you're always were that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
so that's a
Like
great
that.
question.
Yeah.
Perm.
Well, my biggest problem is I'm like, even now I'm a recovering perfectionist.
Right.
So I'm always worried I'm going to have like a hiccup or what am I going to say or is it going to be perceived right? And I'll be honest, I think it goes back to the lifelong learner. The more that you educate yourself, the more confident you are in your delivery. You know, the one with the most conviction usually sounds the best. Most influential always influences the least influential, right? But that only comes from when we're constantly conditioning our craft and the mind and the body and the spirit, and that would be the mind. And I think that's what truly separated me was constant preparation, right? Not to rhyme because I know I'll get crushed for preparation equals separation. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, there's Costa with a rhyme, but it is. So it's like when it's called now, I'm ready, but I still get that because I care. Like even when we're in LDS, I still feel it. Here's why. I think that bad speakers pull energy from a crowd. Mm-hmm. You ever see when somebody's struggling, like, hey, everybody get up. Good speakers, put energy into a crowd. great speakers speak to every individual within the crowd.
In the crowd. Gotcha.
And that's usually how I aim it. And when I put vulnerability in there, people were like, "Oh, he's talking to me."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Now I'm talking to all of us. We all been there."
Right.
It's just
Right. No
nobody
doubt.
admits it.
Right.
No
And
doubt.
I'm admitting it right now.
No doubt.
right? So that would
I
probably
thought you
be
were
how I
going to
got
say,
better.
I don't know where they get this from, but they said, if you're nervous, look out in the audience
Not a shot. I know where you're going.
and picture everybody in their underwear.
Could you imagine that?
And then-
Could you imagine that?
What would you picture out of perm?
Well, no, you're in form fit for the summer though.
Orange draws.
Yeah. Well, you got
Definitely. I mean,
orange
he's a
draws
color
over there?
coordinated cat.
I'm all about color.
I wouldn't doubt
Respect
it.
that.
I wouldn't doubt
I can
it.
respect that.
Sure.
Name one thing that you would have changed when you first started in the business. If you could go back and do it all over again, anything you could think of other than the emotions.
I would have been a better receiver. And what I mean by that is a lot of times people would reach out to help. I'd be like, I got it.
Cool.
I got it. I'm cool. I've got it. I can remember countless times you'd be like, hey, if you need anything, let me know.
I had to hunt you down.
Yeah, I mean, he literally, like, he's not making that up. And he's
Right.
and to the point where I know he'd go into the conversation just to be nice to ask. I'm like, oh, I got it. And I think you have to be a good receiver to be successful in business. And I'm gonna explain something, right? Like, if we were to go to a pond of water, right, and because I feel the world is like kind of neutral. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And if three of us went and say, hey, I'm gonna take a cup and I'm gonna take a cup of water out of the pond. I'm gonna take a bucket. That's all I need. And say you were to take a wine barrel and pull it all out, right? You're not bad. As much as you want to take as much as you want. That's what the world's here to do. I believe it's neutral, whether it be counsel, whether it be success, whether it be whatever it is, but you better be ready to give back too, because the more water you pour out, the heavier it's going to get. That's where they say, mo money, mo problems, back to our rap days, right? Yeah. And when I say, it's neutral, and this is what people don't understand. They think if I'm not a good person if I take something, or if I take success, or if you know what I mean? No, just make sure that you give back properly.
Yes.
You take as much as you want because it's neutral.
Beautiful.
And it goes back to the same pond. Say you have like a mass serial killer person, right? And then you got an angel that's a nun. They both fall into the water, right? Mm-hmm. Serial killer knows how to swim. He jumps out of the pond. Nun doesn't know how to swim. She drowns, and everybody's like, she was so nice. How did this happen? She didn't know how to swim. She didn't know how to survive. It wasn't about being nice. It's about, you get what you can do, right? And I believe in the water reference, take as much as you want, but you better be willing to give back, and you better be willing to survive in any situation that comes up, because being nice or I'm going to keep passing on, it's not going to help you at all. And I needed to hear that. Like, I was a guy like, oh, I'll pass on this. Any questions? Nope. Pass on this. Hey, go call Marcus Smith. Oh, I'm good.
I think people want sometimes, not all, you never know why, but I think sometimes people think that if they ask questions or they ask for help, that it means that the person's going to think he don't got it.
Right, exactly.
I can't trust him to run shit because he's asking questions or he needs help, you know what I mean, or whatever. So, and that's, that couldn't be, but what you were talking about is Maxwell always says, be a river, not a reservoir.
Yep.
Not just a place where you get all these blessings. Yep. And you keep them to yourself. It's get the blessings, get the knowledge, get the wisdom, get whatever, and then pass it on. Let it pass through you. Let it flow through you to the people. And I think when people understand in leadership that it's our responsibility to gain as much knowledge and wisdom as we can, any way that we can from anybody, which means being vulnerable, just humbling yourself to ask questions and in order to get it and give it, to other people. Speaking of giving things to other people, each of you have been giving things, recently to people. Perm's been passing out, handing out black and milds at the council. Giovanni should have seen him. He was giving them out to people. So Perm, we got a new position too. Perm's going to be doing some major things here on the good news. We come up with.
I'm excited.
But you were giving out books before one of the leadership schools. I know I got books for all the leaders and stuff. Your book, that you wrote was called The Leadership Code.
Yep.
What was maybe one of the chapters, your favorite chapters, or quotes, or anything in there? Personally.
I don't know. I think the favorite chapter would probably be imagination over memory.
Imagination over memory.
And because I believe that the most. None of us are where we plan on being 5 to 10 years from now. None of us. We're still using huge imaginations. You're building a beautiful home right now, but I remember you talking about that 5 years ago. That's going to change.
Right.
That imagination's going to change. It's probably going to be a beautiful home down in Florida next or wherever else next, right? And when you use your imagination, it's special, man. Like Walt Disney, when you hear that story, the guy saw it, nobody see it, but he dismissed the memory of all the challenge, of all the doubters, of all the, the people who said, hey, you're crazy, you're out of your mind, all that nonsense. People need to constantly use that gift of the imagination because there's going to be pop tires, there's going to be wrecked cars, there's going to be, overcharges and money challenges sometimes. But it's the imagination to continue to create, right? And that's a gift, man, because when you start to see that and you start to feel that, when you start to feel the emotion, that's when it starts to happen. It's not just like, oh, I got a great idea. You start to feel it. And then you forget about, I don't care about the pop tire. I'll walk. I'll rent a car if I have to in our industry. That was a big setback in the day. Yep. So you could always tell if people use their imagination, they popped a tire. It's the end of the world. We got to sit there for 2 weeks.
No doubt.
Then you can tell the people that we're just going to ball out.
No matter what.
They've got an enterprise car. They got another car. They double book. They don't care. They're going to go here. They're renting. I mean, it was wild. They were, again, solution people. And then they're on the imagination. Well, I know I'm going to be an MGA in 9 months. I know I'm going to open up an office in 1 year. And that's power. So for me, that would probably be my favorite chapter just because that's my favorite principle.
Love it. Imagination over memory.
Yep.
Last one I got for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where vision-wise, because the vision of the organization, where we're going, where do you see yourself 5 years? I'll even stay away from 10 unless you want to go to 10, because 10 is like, we move so fast, so much happens. Even if you go back 5 years ago, it would be hard to even imagine your family, you know what I mean? Yeah. Your wife, kids, everything that you got going on right now. 5 years from today, what do you see? What's the vision for 5 years from today?
Well, that's a good question. That's a loaded question.
Loaded question.
I see us being together as probably one of the most powerful forces for the greater good in business, in philanthropy, in all types of great things.
In what?
I mean, philanthropy work. Did I say it wrong?
Philanthropy.
Did I say it wrong?
That's what it's supposed
Tell him, Perm. Come on, educate us.
Philanthropy.
He's been waiting.
No.
He's been sitting on a pitch to crush me. I got me at the
I got one
on
for
the
you.
fourth
I'm
quarter.
just waiting for you to finish yours because we got to know how.
Yeah.
Philanthropy.
Philanthropy. I'm going to back out. I'm going to back out now. I'm second guessing myself.
All right.
That's vulnerability. See,
Yes.
you can't.
No.
I can't even say it properly. I just want to do it more. Right.
We need to find. I don't care if we even use old ones, Giovanni.
The clips.
Or we gotta get them bloopers.
Yeah.
The
Bloopers
old, remember the bloopers
Yes.
we did for Christmas?
Oh,
the one time where we played everybody's. Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's so
get that
funny.
back.
But yes, my bad, cutting you off.
No.
You
Sorry.
see us crushing it in philanthropy, being together.
But I think, man,
Being together.
great experiences. Like
Huge.
we're going to chase
Great
great
God.
experience. We're going to make like major memories, man. I mean, I think we're just tasting it now. Like it's cool, but we know what we just spent a week in Marco Island, and I think we all felt it.
I agree.
I think it might have been the thing that nobody said, but when you walked away that night, I remember I walked away. You guys were the last two I was talking to. I was like, "It's happening. It's happening. It's really, really, really happening." Like there's sometimes when it's like it's gonna happen. It's happening. So when you say 5 years as fast as we moved, it's scary
No doubt.
in a good way.
No doubt.
Right? You know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't come there. Nowhere in my notes, nowhere in my planning, nowhere did it say to even start talking about 100 million
Wow.
and 300 million. It wasn't part of my plan.
Wow.
But when I
We
was
went right past that
when
too.
I was in it,
we went right past
like
that
I'm
number.
zoned in on 50.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right now, that's like one of my playlist, things that I've been focused on. And when I was there, when you say you could feel it,
You could feel it.
I'm like, oh, Simon, you're thinking too small. It's right
here.
100 is the layup, and then what I saw past that, so I know exactly. I know
It was a
exactly
chill
what you're
moment. It was
talking
like,
about.
I don't know, everybody was zoned in. Like it's just like something was happening.
Right.
You just know that we just got to do what we do, and it's really going to happen. So
No doubt.
5 years it's exciting to think about. If we're going to go back to chapter 3, imagination over memory.
Yes.
Right.
Truth.
Because let me say this too, because what we're about to do in 5 years and what we've done now, for the people that are hitting challenge, when you get to a point where you're at now, you have to really, really think when times were hard and when they were bad. You don't really remember it. Do you ever notice that yet? Like when times are really bad, like take the worst part of your career. You gotta somebody got to go back and tell me worse. And like, I got to think about that.
Yes.
You have to literally take time to think about how hard it was because it's such a little baby test. A lot of people don't understand that in business.
But when you're in it,
yeah.
when you're in the midst of it, it seems like the end of the world.
Yeah.
This is never going to stop.
Yes.
This is, I don't know how I can take any more. I'm going to burst.
Yeah.
But it's a season.
And
It's a season.
the last mile when you're in it, it's always like man, the air isn't thin. There is like no air, right? It's not like the flames got higher. It's like an engulfing and like there's nothing left. So sometimes people say, "Oh, it can't get any worse." Yeah, it can. yeah, it can. I never say that. It's enough. It's getting hot. But when it's like boom, and it's like that bad, that's usually the last lap.
Yep.
That most people don't talk about that either. That's when it's so bad, but that's
The
where
explosion comes right after that.
That's where everybody breaks.
Yes.
They don't break in the second to last lap. They break in the last, but they think it's like this eternal mile.
Yes.
It's not.
They think it's forever.
You're about to go.
It's a season, and you quit.
You said, whoop,
You tapped out.
whoop. No. So
Right before Perm
hopefully
got
that
done
hits-
freaking that black and mild. It was about to get good.
Yeah, right.
And you left. And you quit.
You gave up. You tapped out. Why? Why did you do it? Should have stayed in there with me.
Come
That's
on.
what people got to know, man.
Now, and you've been in the game for, you say 9 years, right?
Yes. Just turned on.
And
Crazy.
through the 9 years, how long did it take for you to start from the top button all the way down to the 4th button that you're at right now?
He ain't got nothing on Matty D.
No,
Matty and Dell.
Matty D
No,
and Dell
but
go down.
they
the
were
belly
together?
button.
Yeah,
That's the belly button
that's
standard.
what-
Yeah, they got the belly button standard.
But when did you start? I mean, it wasn't like this all the time. It was a top button first.
We were in Cancun for a week. When we got back from Marco Island, I'm just a product of my environment for the last 2 weeks. I forgot we're back home in Pittsburgh. You know,
Watch the company you keep.
right.
Hanging with Matty and Dell and
but-
those guys.
but
They
Dell-
start losing a button.
Yeah, it's gone.
And then they encourage you.
yeah.
It's like, is this too loaded?
Well, Matty gotta go.
Before you
low.
know it, you got one.
Yeah,
She's like,
Matty gotta go low to show that the jump
The
rope.
jumper,
yeah.
The jump is
He like
so
that, bro.
deep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's got,
yeah.
The
that
jump
thing-
rope.
That thing's got feet, right?
Yeah.
Of
Yes.
gold, and that's gold. So he's going to show you the gold.
Yeah.
yes.
Dell just wants to do it because Dell's Miami.
Yeah.
Dell's
Yes.
Miami.
Yes.
Like I wouldn't
MIA,
even be
yeah.
wearing this
Yes.
shirt.
MIA, yeah,
He
that's
wants to
him.
show you the tats,
Yeah.
the diamonds,
Yeah.
everything. He wants
Yes.
to show you Steve Dell.
Yes.
That's just Dell.
Yes.
But it's the belly button standard, and we just made that up right now.
I like it. I like it. If you want to see if somebody wanted to see the belly button standard,
Yes, this is where it's at.
where
We
could
gonna-
people contact you or see you, like on social media?
There you go.
What's all your stuff?
Britton.Costa on Instagram.
Britton.Costa.
Yep.
Costa.
Yep, Britton.Costa on Instagram, BrittonCosta.com. When we kind of stepped away from that for a little bit, that is about to change literally in the next 5 days. I kind of pulled off the social media a little bit when everything was crazy with all the crazy stuff in the pandemic and the political stuff, and I was like, I'm going to pull off. But now we're about to go full throttle on that, fully engaged.
All the
People
way.
message, I message everybody back
So.
to the best that I can when I get it rocking. So that's
Love
what
it.
we'll be.
Love it. Well, we want to thank you for joining us here
Appreciate
in the
it, B.
updated Grindcast from the picnic tables.
From the
Came a
green
long
over here
way.
with Pern
We
in the
came a
background
long
to-
way.
Background, we got a table,
We're
nice
getting there.
mics and
Yeah.
everything.
We're getting there, but thank you for joining us,
Sure.
Mr. Costa,
Thanks
my
for
brother,
having me. My
on
brother.
another
My
episode of the
brother.
Grindcast. Get ready, it's a new day.
Let's go.
Count money, man. Stack riches. Trying told him I'm a beast blood.